Hi, this is Drew Jose Nixon. I'm here with Max Stromer. He's on my phone on the line. We're going to just be talking baseball a little bit. This is our new show, Baseball at its Finest, Season 1, Episode 1. It's going to be a lot like Extra Innings, which is a show done by Van and his brother. So you don't really have to watch this. It's going to be kind of similar. But this is just a little startup show. We'll see how it goes. I'm really excited to be here with my buddy Max Stromer, one of my best friends from SBC 2018. You might remember me. I have two shows now. I do This Week in the Bay. I do this. I'm at LASBC. Max will be next year. So it's nice to know that you guys are listening in. So let's get into some of our topics. We're basically going to talk baseball for a long time. We don't know exactly how long it's going to be, but it's going to be some fun. Let's start by going through some of the games today. So Max, I'm going to tell you the score, and you're just going to tell me what you have to say about that particular game. We're going to start.
All right, let's do it.
We'll start with these games that have already gone final. So first, let's start with Royals-Orioles. The Royals won 2-9. Keller got the win. Cashner got the loss. What do you have to say about that? Royals and Orioles.
I was not expecting that. I was expecting the Royals to come off of their slump. But these Royals are at the bottom of their division. They're not coming back. There's no chance.
So yeah, I agree. The game didn't really matter regardless of who won because both of the teams are nowhere close to the playoffs, and I think we all know that. So their seasons are over. Like, honestly, I would rather lose because you get a better pick if you lose. There's a 3.5 game difference. The Royals are 3.5 games better now. Orioles at 40-95. Royals at 43-91. So it will be. We'll see. None of those teams really matter, though. I gotta be honest. Blue Jays and Marlins, two other teams who I'd say at least are out of the hunt. We'll see what Max has to say on that. But Blue Jays beat the Marlins 6-5. Smoke hit a grand slam to give them the lead. Joe Bugiani got the win. Steckenrider got the loss. And Ken Giles with his 19th save. What do you got to say about that, Max?
Well, based on these recent trades with Josh Donaldson being gone and Curtis Granderson, these Toronto are not in the playoff hunt. And neither are these Marlins. They are in the bottom of their division. I don't see them anywhere, in my opinion.
Yeah, we're gonna get into a lot of those trades that went down later in this episode. It's been a busy day. I mean, the deadline is today, I think. I think it's like tonight at midnight. Not completely sure. It's soon, though, the waiver trade deadline. It's been cool to see some moves being made. I mean, obviously, we saw Cutchin yesterday. We saw Donaldson today. The Brewers made a lot of noise. So we can get into that later. There's some other topics we'll get in after we finish these scores. Two more teams who I don't think are that good, so don't really pay much attention to that. Now let's get into the good stuff. We got the Indians and the Rays. Now, when you think Indians, you think Rays, you think, oh, the Rays are trash. And I know exactly why. Because the Rays are trash. But they're not. See, they really can feel like trash because they're the third best team in the best division in baseball. With the best top of the division in baseball. Ooh, by the way, White Sox, Red Sox back underway. But anyways, they're not at the top of the best division in baseball. They are the 3 seed, but they're only 6 games back of the Indians. Well, actually, they were 5 before today. Windians beat the Rays 3-0. 2-hitter for Corey Kluber. Did he go the distance? I think he might have gone the distance. It was a 2-hit complete. It was no runs, 2 hits through the distance. 7 innings for Kluber. So yeah, 7 innings.
See, this is where I have to disagree with you. These Rays were good when they had Ramos, but they don't have him anymore. And not to mention these Indians, now they have Josh Donaldson. Not to mention they have Jose Ramirez, Michael Brantley, and Francisco Lindor, but not to mention J.C. Kipnis. And they have a good starting pitching rotation.
Well, I mean, I would have to agree with you that I do think that the Indians have one of the most talented teams in baseball. When you look at the top of their lineup and you look Jose Ramirez at second, I guess, Josh Donaldson at third, Kipnis as a pinch hitter, you got like Lindor at short, and you just go around through their team, and you're just like, wow, this team is talented. I want to play this team. So let's see, last game that is currently final. Never mind. Don't count me on that. Phillies 2, Cubs 1. What do you have to say about this one?
Well, these Cubs definitely an injured team, but today they've heard some good news. Chris Bryant will be back. Addison Russell will be back. But here, I have something to say, okay? This Cubs lineup has some interesting stuff going on. Now, a lot of their players on their team can move around, alright? Now, with Jason Hayward being injured today, I think that you either put Chris Bryant or Javi Baez at right field, and then that fills the gap. You have Daniel Murphy and Addison Russell in the infield.
That's gonna be interesting to see. We'll get to that one later. But yeah, it's been very cool to see the Cubs get kind of healthy. As funny story, Neshek beat Cishek. They both have sub-2 ERAs. So that's just kind of funny. I just noticed that. Next game. We've seen a lot of playoff teams in the last couple of games. That will continue. Brewers and Nationals, two teams that are trying to get in the playoffs, not quite there yet. But Brewers with a big 4-1 victory. Nelson Aguilar went yard. Julio Sassin with the win. Tanner Roark took the loss. And Jeremy Jeffries with his 8th save of the year. We haven't seen as much as him getting the saves, but he did it today, and that's what's going to be important down the stretch. So, what do you got to say about the Nationals and Brewers?
Well, this Nationals, they have the power. They just aren't using it wisely. They need to use different of their lineup. You see, Trey Turner, Adam Eaton. I think that you have already the first two batters in your lineup. And Bryce Harper is a clutch hitter, but he hasn't been the same ever since the Home Run Derby. Now, for the Brewers, I was not surprised to see them win. Eric Thames, what a guy. Curtis Granderson and Gio Gonzalez now traded to them. But I have to think that these Brewers are making it to the playoffs, but the Nationals, you can forget about them in this postseason.
So, yeah, the Brewers got 4 runs, all off home runs, 2-run homer for Travis Shaw. Eric Kratz and Nelson Aguilar also each added solo shots. That was a good game. A tale of two teams today. You saw the Brewers, who really tried to get some players today. They acquired 3 players, I think. And you saw the Nationals on the other side get rid of both Ryan Madson and Gio Gonzalez, reportedly to shed payroll. They've also gotten rid of some guys you might know of. Daniel Murphy went to the Cubs. We saw Sean Kelly go to the A's, I think, and Brandon Kinsler leave too. So we've seen them have a lot of action. Now let's get to our final game that is currently final. It is the Yankees and Tigers. What do you got to say about Yankees and Tigers? Obviously, the Yankees won because they were playing the Tigers. Britton got the win. Jimenez got the loss. David Robertson got the save. 5th save for him. 7 runs on 7 hits compared to 5 runs on 12 hits. And Gardenhire got tossed. And that was soon after that was when the Yankees took the lead. So, what do you got to say about that game?
Well, this New York Yankee team, they were losing in the 6th inning, 3-0 against Detroit, but they came back with a comeback. Gleyber Torres doing great in this game. Giancarlo could have been better, but he hit his 300th career homer last night. Obviously, kudos to Big Al for helping him out. Yes, Big Al, the internet sensation from the Little League World Series, definitely his inspiration to hit that 300th career homer. But these Yankees, I just don't see them. I see them as a wild card spot, but not beating the Red Sox.
I'd have to agree on that one. I mean, they're sitting way back in the division. I don't think they have even a chance. But I mean, everybody has different beliefs. I mean, we know Jake Circus and Eli Pearl, two big Yankees fans at NSR, so they definitely believe different. Yankees currently 8 back, so I don't know if they can do it. Let's get to some of our games that are still going on. We will give you updates throughout the night when stuff goes down. For example, the A's gave up 2 runs. What happened here? Actually, let me just check this out. Cano and Cruz went back-to-back.
That is what I call a clutch mix.
They're still down 2, but Seager's on first. Tying run at the plate in the form of Ryan Healy. They went back-to-back. It's good to see Cano get back into the groove of things. Sadly, because of his suspension, no matter what happens, he will not be able to play in the playoffs. Well, not sadly for us A's fans, but sadly for him. Let's get into some active games. Let's get to it. So let's start with the Rockies and Padres. That one's still scoreless. Let's not really talk about the Rockies and the Padres because the Rockies are currently struggling. That's okay. Padres are bad. So there's not really much to cover here, but 0-0 in the middle of the 4th. Obviously, it would be really tough for the Rockies to lose to the Padres. We'll give you any updates when we have them on that one. Next one, another in division, Diamondbacks and Dodgers. Diamondbacks lead the Dodgers by a run, and Greinke is pitching pretty well. He's one of the premier pitchers for the Diamondbacks that nobody really knows about, as long as the rest of the Diamondbacks pitching staff, most of which are pretty good. I mean, you look, Zach Godley, Robbie Ray, Patrick Corbin, of course, and now I'm going to add Zach Greinke to that list. Those are 4 pitchers that I really like, and none of them people really know about. Anyways, what are your thoughts? 2-1 game.
Well, I know you're going to be happy to hear this. This Dodgers team has not been the same without Corey Seager or Justin Turner. Their pitching rotation has been okay, but Kershaw has not been the same as he was last year. This Arizona Diamondbacks, I see them at the top of the NL West.
Yeah, the Dodgers are a half game back of the Rockies and 2 games back of the Diamondbacks for first place. So we'll see how that shakes out. Let's get to our next game. We saw a combined 3 runs in our last 2 games. Let's spice it up in a 10-6 game in Texas where the Twins lead the Rangers.
Yeah, so the Minnesota Twins, this is obviously very surprising knowing that they are very bad. This Rangers team, not any better than them, but this is still surprising because the Rangers have spots, but I think that the Rangers are better than the Minnesota Twins. Now this isn't any stuff that I'm putting on because I was born in Texas. No, I was not a fan of these Rangers.
Well, we'll talk a little more about personality later, but what team are you a fan of? I want to know.
I know this is surprising, but I'm more of an AL East type of guy. I am a Red Sox fan.
Okay, I see you, Swaggy Stromer, rocking the Red Sox Nation. That's nice to hear. So let's get on to our next game. Rangers trail the Twins in the 8th. And let's get to the Red Sox and White Sox. I don't know, how are the well, first of all, Ian Kinsler got traded recently. I don't remember hearing about that, but yeah. And White Sox currently lead the Red Sox 3-0. So what you got on that?
The only thing I have to say about this is the battle of socks. Now, a lot more people wear white socks, but that is not the case for these white socks. They wear black socks today. Now, these black socks are obviously good luck 3-0 to the leaders of the MLB. Now, the White Sox, very surprising to me. The Red Sox, obviously this is a game that got delayed, but I found really funny what Brock Holt did in the locker room, courtesy of David Price on Instagram. Brock Holt singing to the rain gods in the locker room showers, hoping for no rain. But that is not the case today, right now, because it is back on, but they are still trailing. So hopefully this magic Red Sox team will put on some of their magic against the White Sox.
Apparently, Brock Holt did something right because it stopped raining. Quick update: Mariners tied it up with the A's. We'll get to that game in a second. Also, Yusmeiro Petit just came in for Mike Fiers. But first, let's talk about two teams, both of which currently should be rebuilding, regardless of whether or not they are. They're in a scoreless battle, a game nobody really wants to see, unless you live in New York or San Francisco. You know who I'm talking about. It's the Mets and Giants.
Yes, there's nothing to talk about here. But I see the Giants winning this one. McCutchen wasn't really helping them. Hopefully he helps the Yankees. But I see the Giants winning this one. Yep, I know you are too.
Yeah, I'm a big Giants fan. Bay Area kid. I love the Braves. I love the A's. I love the Giants. Braves is a story we can talk about later. But, so it's nice to see the Giants hanging in this one. One hitter for Andy Suarez. So we'll see how that goes. Now let's get to my game. My favorite, or second favorite team. The A's and the Mariners. It's going down in Oaktown. So the A's took a 5-0 lead in the first in this one, correct? Chapman went yard, Olsen doubled, Piscotty hit a 2-run shot, and Simeon doubled. So they're up 5-0. In the second, Herman hit an RBI single. In the fourth, Cano and Cruz go back-to-back, and then Ryan Healy, who I was telling you he was at the plate, hit a 2-run shot. Mitch Haniger's now up with 2 out in the inning, but that was a big comeback right there. So you had anything on that game?
Not really. I will see more, but all I have to say is D. Gordon doing just fine on this Mariners team.
I agree. I'd really hate the Mariners right now, to be honest. No offense to Wilson Kahn. I love you, Wilson Kahn, but I'm a Bay Area kid. I love the A's. I need the A's making the playoffs right now. And the Mariners are literally here to screw it up for them. And I don't like that. So, we'll have to figure something out there. Let's get to our next game. It is the Cardinals and Reds. Nothing to talk about here. Cardinals and Reds. Who do you think is winning? Of course, it's the Cardinals. The Cardinals are up 12-5 and looking for more as we speak. The Reds just put a pitcher into, or a hitter into pitch. Excuse me. Dixon just relieved Steffens. So, it shouldn't be going too good for the Reds, but who knows what they're up to. They're the Reds. What did you really expect? You got anything on that game?
Nope. Cardinals are winning this one.
Yeah,
No
I'd have to agree. Let's check out the Astros and Angels. We were talking about this game a lot before the show. Max, you can take this one. You can talk about what you want to say.
All I gotta say is what's happening right now. Bottom of the ninth, 2 outs, full count, Reddick up to bat, LA Angels taking this one home. This is a 3-run shutout brought to you by the Angels. Now, let's see what happened. Reddick just fouled off.
Yeah, look, we can tune into this game. We'll give you a pitch by pitch update until this game ends. That'll be some fun. So we can just let you know what's happening. Looks like ground out to first. Yeah, Reddick just grounded out to first. That game's over. So
Yes.
Congratulations to the Angels. They won a game. And we already talked Red Sox and White Sox. Last game. This game is also over. I saved it for last because it's my favorite team. Jameson Taillon beat Brad Brock. Felipe Vasquez with his 29th save. It was tough to watch as a Braves fan. 3-2 victory for the Pirates over the Braves. Braves' only offense was 2 solo shots. So, what do you got on this one, Stromer?
I mean, I'm surprised because the Atlanta Braves are on the top of their division. The Pittsburgh Pirates nowhere close. But I just think that it was a luck game. I know you were too. But Ozzie Albies and Dansby Swanson, the two finished last at bats of the night. They could have put something on, but they didn't.
Well, it's tough to see some of your players not able to come up in situations, but you shouldn't really be counting on them to say, "Hey, Ozzie, hit me a dinger right now." So it's tough to see them lose, but it happens. What can I say? That's it for baseball games. Let's get into some hot topics, not games, but let's get into a couple
The juicy stuff,
topics. Right? Yes. Games are fun, but let's talk about some trades. Donaldson to the Indians.
Go Indians, you know what I mean?
It's always nice.
Every person in their infield is great, you know? Not now with Donaldson. But I'm interested to see what happens at this third base position. You already have one of the best third basemen in the league. Not to mention, you just added another one to your lineup. Now, obviously, you're in the American League. You get a DH spot. But I'm interested to see who will be in the DH spot. I think it'll be Josh Donaldson. What do you think, Drew?
I agree. I think their infield is going to be Donaldson DHing. Then you're going to see Edwin Encarnacion move to first because he used to be DHing. You're going to look over to second, and you're going to see Kipnis. Short and third will stay the same with Lindor and Ramirez. Probably, I'd say, the best duo at short and third on the planet. So, that's just me, but it's nice to see. So, the deadline tonight is 11:59 Eastern Time. So, that is literally 25 minutes away.
Yes, sir, it is.
So,
but let's get into the Brew Crew trades. Gio Gonzalez, Curtis Granderson, 2 underrated players. Do you agree?
Yeah, and they also got Xavier Cedeno in a separate trade. So, they added 3 pieces that can really help them down the stretch. Now, I'm not sure how you're going to use these different guys. None of them are really those guys who you're going to look at and be like, wow, this is a blockbuster deal. They did not get the kind of guy that you're going to look at and think, wow, this is the Justin Verlander of 2018. But you are going to look at these guys and say, I mean, Curtis Granderson can easily get you a big hit down the stretch. Gonzalez can eat some innings for you, and then you're going to look over at Cedeno, and he's going to get you some key outs down the stretch, and you're just going to look at it's the little things that are making it so easy for the Brewers to succeed, and that's going to be big for them. I think that's going to be really big, so it's nice to see. What do you got to say about them?
Not much. But let's get into the trade that most of you have heard about. McCutchen. Yes, you thought he was a Giant. No, he is a Yankee. A Yankee. What do you think about this, Drew?
I like Cutchen to the Yankees. The Giants weren't going anywhere with McCutchen. I'm just going to be simple. I'm a Giants fan. I'm a McCutchen fan. He's my namesake. We got the same name. Let's be honest. McCutchen needs to be on a team that can win. He's not going to be able to carry a team. He's going to be that last piece that's going to put a team together. And the Giants need a player that can really be in the middle of the lineup. They don't need somebody who can be that last piece. And that's what they're trying to do with McCutchen. And it wouldn't work for them. So I think it's good for all parties that he's on the Yankees now. Except for his hair, because he had to shave it. But other than that, I think that was a good trade for everybody.
Yeah, it is. Giancarlo, Aaron Judge, and now McCutchen. You have what I like to call supreme outfield.
Hey, you add Brett Gardner to that list. Again, they're lucky they're in the AL because they can use the DH. So you can DH either Cutchen, either Cutchen or Judge, or actually any of the four of them. You could DH. We'll see what they end up doing, but it will be fun to see. It's going to be interesting to see how Cutchen likes the small outfield. I think that's something we constantly look at when we see new players going to New York to play with the Yankees. We think about that small outfield. So I wonder how that will impact it.
Let's get into injuries, okay? I think that
there's actually
all the trades that we have today.
There's one more trade. One more trade.
All right.
We have Ryan Madson going to the Dodgers. I think Madson went to the Dodgers. Am I correct?
I think you are.
Let's hope
But the thing about this Dodger team is you have a okay bullpen, but I don't think that these people. I don't think you should keep adding people to your bullpen. You need a go-to reliever, not additional ones that can balk off. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't really think if you're gonna get a reliever at this point, you need to get a big baller reliever. It's not time to mess around. It's time to get that last piece. You can't be going around just looking at those guys that are gonna be there if they're not gonna be helpful for you. So yeah, I didn't like that trade either. We've seen Madson get moved a couple times at the deadline now, so we'll see. Now let's get into injuries. You wanted to lead that one. Let's go.
Yes, so now this is an interesting injury, but I don't think it'll affect anybody. Shohei Ohtani is returning to the mound this Sunday. Now, as you know, these Angels are third in their division. I don't see them anywhere. But hopefully next year, hopefully this offseason, they get some trades in. They get some players because they need them.
Yeah, I have to agree. They're at the point where it doesn't really matter who's playing and who's not. It will be nice to have It will be nice to have a dress rehearsal for the future, but as of now, they don't need Shohei Ohtani pitching. So this is really to just prove that they can use him in the future, I think.
Yes, but we have a lot of people from Chicago at SBC, so let's get into this action. We have Kris Bryant and Addison Russell coming in, out from the DL. Now, I already had my opinion taken on this. Drew, I want to hear yours.
Well, obviously, you get one of the premier players in the league, a former MVP, back. It's going to be big. And another guy who's been a big part of your team back in Addison Russell. So, you're going to get better, right? Not necessarily. I think that there's going to be some locker room problems still with Addison Russell after his issues with relationships, let's put it that way. So I don't know how the clubhouse will react to that. If they pick him up, it'll be nice. We know that Kris Bryant's on the MLB roster. we don't know if he's the Chris Bryant of 2016. So we have no proof that he's back to where he was, and until he gets there, we really don't know how good they're going to be. For that reason, obviously, there's no way they're not going to get better by adding Chris Bryant, but Chris Bryant alone, let alone Addison Russell. But there's always things you got to think about, so we'll see what happens there.
Yes, but you got two people off the deal, but one more added as Jason Hayward hamstring. He may hit the deal. Results haven't came out public yet.
Yep.
What do you think?
I don't really think that it will be that big a deal. Obviously, it hurts because he's a very talented player, but ultimately you're getting two, losing one, and the best player you're getting is much better than the best player you're losing. So you're going to go forward. You're going to take 2 steps forward, 1 step back, and ultimately that's 1 step forward. So is this going to be a problem for them? I do not think so. They can work through it, and as long as they have him back by the stretch, and he's going on the 10-day DL, so I think if they have him back by the stretch, it will not be a problem. So.
But I want to talk about this AL West one real quick. Okay, so I'm bringing you the Astros. So they lost 3-0 today. AJ Hinch with the 4-year extension yesterday, but today he gets ejected. That might be one of the reasons why they lost this game. Do you agree with that, Drew?
Yeah, I mean, we saw the top 4 teams in the AL West all get at each other. We saw 1 play 4 and 2 play 3, and it's a tie between 2 and 3, and we 4 beat 1. So who knows? It's going to be an interesting day. But yeah, I do think that's one of the reasons they lost. Obviously, clutch hitting from your best players is extremely important, and they didn't get that. They had back-to-back times where their 2 best players came up with the bases loaded, and they could not deliver, and that's terrible. And you're not going to be able to win a lot of games by doing that. So I honestly think it could have been different with AJ Hinch, but really your stars just got to deliver.
Yes, they do. Now, the St. Louis team, surprising win, but it doesn't really affect them. They are not making it to the postseason. Now, I want to get something that happened 2 days ago with this Brewers team. Christian Yelich hits for the cycle. Yes, he hits the cycle, not to mention 2 more first base hits. I like to call singles. What do you think about this?
I mean, if anybody was to hit for the cycle, if you came up to me and said, somebody hit for the cycle, I'm most likely thinking, I know if you say somebody hit for the cycle, especially if you say Brewers, I'm thinking Christian Yelich. And here's why. He's the best hitter on that team to hit for the cycle. He definitely has the best batting average, like, in terms of that kind of stuff, just getting on base. He can hit singles, he can hit doubles as well as anybody on that team. And Nelson Aguilar is not fast enough to hit a triple. And Yelich is just a reliable player that's gonna hit for enough average that no matter what, he can hit for the cycle. So, am I surprised to see somebody hit for the cycle? Yes, of course I'm surprised. Hitting for the cycle is extremely rare, but when I heard hit for the cycle and I knew it was the Brewers, I knew it was Christian Yelich. So, hey, he's the model of consistency now. There's not much more to say. It's just when you hear hit after hit, you know it's Christian Yelich. So.
Yes, he is one of the all-around best players, not to mention underrated players. But I agree with you. The only person that can most likely hit a cycle is Christian Yelich. All Eric Thames mostly does is hit dingers. Moustakis, he hits dingers too.
They hit dingers like Big Al.
Yes, indeed they do. That being said, what do you got to say about Hawaii winning the Little League World Series?
Well, I gotta be honest. I like the Little League World Series. I'm not that big a fan until I'm in the Little League World Series, which is, I think, next year. I'm not completely sure. But, like, it's nice to see Hawaii win the Little League World Series.
Yes, that is true. They are representing the West. That's us, right?
Yeah, we're both West Coast kids. I mean, you're from LA and Texas. I'm from the Bay Area. So when it comes to somebody's got to win, if it's going to be West, East, or International, I'm happy the West won. I mean, what can I say?
Yes, they did. Now, what else do you want to talk about on this one? I got to tell you, when I heard that video of Drake and that fan that won $25K for begging that half-court shot, I was surprised. Yeah, not that many people have a half-court shot challenges at their concerts.
Yeah, that's how you knew it was Drake. I mean, half-court challenge at a concert? What? Like, who thinks of that? It's Drake.
Yeah.
He's got the yellow Ferrari like Pikachu.
Oh, dear.
So yeah, that was a nice moment. Obviously, anytime you see something like that, it just warms your heart to see somebody so excited. But yeah,
Indeed. Now we have a good weekend in store for us in baseball. A lot of good matchups coming to us. Now let's look at some of those matchups, alright?
alright.
Alright. You start, alright?
Alright, so we will check out our schedule for this weekend. And so this is the second game of A's and Mariners, if I'm correct. I'm not completely sure. Tomorrow we have a lot of the same matchups. You look, Detroit and the Yankees will meet again. Oh, by the way, this is the series that last year Austin Romine and Miguel Cabrera got in a fight during, if any of you guys remember that. We also have Brewers at Nationals again. We have Cubs at Phillies again. We have Rays in Cleveland. We have Tampa in Miami, or Toronto in Miami. Somehow people are intrigued by that. Pittsburgh's in Atlanta again. Sorry, my bad. This is today's game. I'm completely sorry. Like, a lot of these are the same. So, Yankees, Tigers, Giants, Mets, Brewers, Nationals, Cubs, Phillies, Sox versus Sox, Rays, Indians, what is this? Pirates, Braves, Angels, Astros, Blue Jays, Mariners.
Diamondbacks. Kershaw is on the mound today.
Ooh, that's gonna be cool. Kershaw versus Corbin, two good pitchers there. Paxton and Magden, A's and Mariners meet again. Colorado and San Diego again. Minnesota and Texas again. Cincinnati and St. Louis again. Baltimore and Kansas City again. So it's the exact same schedule tomorrow. And we have most of the same games Sunday as well. You will see Detroit, New York. You will see Toronto, Miami. You will see Milwaukee, Washington. You will see Chicago, Philadelphia. You will see Boston, Chicago.
Not to mention these Angels, Ohtani on the mound. That is his first time since June this summer. He's going to be on the mound. Interesting.
You'll see
Garrett Cole.
You'll see Ohtani. You'll see Garrett Cole. You'll see new boy Jacob Nix, who we don't see very often. You'll see Bartolo Colon get another start. Always nice to see him take the mound. Max Scherzer, Matthew Boyd, a couple aces I just mentioned there. Aaron Nola and John Lester, two more aces. Sunday will be fun. A lot of the same series over the weekends. And again, the Rays starter for that game has not been decided, which means it will most likely be Sergio Romo. So,
Well,
yeah.
You guys thought he was a closer, right, guys? Because he was. But this Rays team, they have no idea what they're doing in this pitching rotation. So
He's going to be like the first guy with 20 starts and 20 saves in the same season.
yeah.
So yeah, that's gonna be that. This has been a pretty long episode. We're almost wrapping it up. We're probably just gonna stay a couple more minutes as we are really starting to get close to the trade deadline now. You got just 10 minutes to lock in any trades you want. Make them good.
Trade gods, what do you have in store for us? Will these Yankees do anything? Their injured Aaron Judge. What will happen? 10 minutes.
Yeah, we got 10 minutes till it's officially September on the East Coast, which means it's also time for September call-ups, which means that you can no longer trade anybody. So we have 10 more minutes. In 10 minutes, the season will hit its final month. It will be very nice to see. So with this free time, we'll just talk a little bit about ourselves, I guess. So, Max, if someone were to meet you today, what would you want them to know about you?
That I am kind of a bandwagon. I don't tell anybody this, but I am a Red Sox fan, but a little side of me still likes Derek Jeter, okay? Still likes Derek Jeter.
Does that mean you're a Marlins fan? He's the owner?
Nah, that Marlins team, literally, I think he was sent on a quest brought to you by the Yankees because the Marlins, bro, they had a lot of trades this last offseason with the Yankees. You know what I mean? Not to mention the star of the show, Giancarlo.
Yeah, there might have been some behind the scenes going on there, trying to give back to the team that gave him a career. I disagree with that, whether or not it was intentional. So that's not fun to see. Anything else you want the people at home to know about you?
This weekend is going to be a good one because college football starts. You know what I'm saying, Drew?
Yep.
Yeah. UCLA most likely not going to do well, as we found out during SBC.
Yeah, I really suggest
you know what I'm looking for? The Crowley team. I know what I'm saying this. Stanford, they have a Heisman potential winner in Bryce Love. So I'm relieving them.
I believe they're winning as we speak. Yep, they're up 10-24. Let's see, how is Bryce Love doing in that game? Just one second here. He's doing terribly. 14 rushes for 9 yards. Well, he's getting out Bryce Loved. The other guy is... Oh, he just had a big rush. He just had a 14-yard rush. It's almost as if he heard me. But the other guy has 24 rushes for 158 yards. So, I don't know. Bryce Love's not putting together the best game we've seen from him. So. Anything else? Anything else you want the people at home to know? Anything?
Nothing really. Just
Okay. I'll just give you a little introduction to who I am. I'm Drew Jose Nixon. I live in Oakland, California. Yep, home of the A's, home of the Raiders, home of the, well, not home of the Raiders for long. Also home of your Golden State Warriors. Everybody loves them unless you hate them. Just kidding. Everybody hates them unless you love them, because most people hate them. But that's us. That's us. That's us. All I can tell you as a Bay Area kid, I love the Bay Area. I love sports broadcasting. We're going to be doing this every Friday at 8, just like we've done today. It will be very fun, I hope. I plan on it being very fun. So, I hope you can tune in as much as possible. Me and Max would love a lot of views. Honestly, comment. We love comments. We want to know how you feel. That's the ultimate goal, I think. At least it is for me. So, yeah.
And if you really want to go follow our Instagram page, Baseball at its Finest NSR. We will give you the best new tips that we will be talking about each Friday. So just try to look on there 1 week, and I am sure that you will be intrigued.
Yeah, follow Baseball at its Finest. Follow at Swaggy Stromer. That's my boy Max Stromer. I don't yet have a Instagram account. I gotta be honest. I will let you know the episode I get an Instagram account. But for now, those 2 episodes are fine by me. So hope you enjoyed our first episode. We'll be here another couple minutes. Just let the trades come in if there are any more. So yeah, just make sure you check out some other episodes on NSR NSR. Make sure to tune in every Friday at 8. That's when we post. Also we might not post. That's when we record, at least. We don't know when we'll end up posting them, but that's when we will be recording. If we don't post, then we'll post soon after our episode ends. I don't really know how that works yet. Check out Saturdays at 9. That's when I will be doing 9 p.m. by the way. That's when I'll be doing my shows with my brother. This week in the Bay. So, some fun episodes to tune into. Hope you enjoyed our first episode. Sorry if it's a little bit long. So we're just gonna be here for a couple more minutes. Thank you so much. Ooh, A's just took the lead. That's the other thing we'll be doing. If we can, we'll give you some updates. A's take a little lead. Let's see what happened there. I bet you $10 Matt Chapman went yard.
Drew, do you think this is another Moneyball season?
Laureano hit a sac fly. Dang it, I'm wrong. I don't. And it's not because of anything except for that I just don't see them. It's not their fault. It's just how good some of the other teams are that they'd have to beat. I mean, you'd have to pass the Astros. You'd have to get through the Yankees. You have to get through the Red Sox. You also have to get through this new and improved Indians team just to get to the World Series. And we'll see who you meet there. So I just don't see them doing it. Like, there's so many teams you have to beat, and they're already the worst team that's in the playoffs. I don't know. I don't think
It'll be interesting, that's for sure.
Yeah, I don't see this as a Moneyball season, but it would be obviously extremely entertaining if it was. So, I mean, don't quote me on it, because I would love for it to be a Moneyball season. Do I count on it? No, I don't. So, yeah. Just a couple more minutes. 2 minutes till the deadline. 2 minutes to the deadline. Interesting question. If there were to be a trade, what do you think it would be?
Well, I'm surprised that I did not see a Billy Hamilton trade from the Reds. A lot of sites have told me that he might have been traded, but I don't think that anybody's going to get traded now. It's too late, you know what I mean?
Yeah, if there's a trade, it would have had to have already been made, and they're just trying to file it right now, and then it gets publicized. So I sure hope that some more trades went down, because what you'll learn about me is I love trades, but wouldn't count on it. Haven't seen much. 1 minute left till the deadline.
To burn this minute, I gotta tell you. So, I know you're a Bay Area kid, but I know you know a lot about the LA teams. So this Dodgers team, what do you think they do with Machado?
After this year?
Yes.
Well, I have this theory, and Jake Circus hates me for. Oh, by the way, Giants scored. I don't know how. Giants scored though. What? Okay, 1 second. I'll tell you in a second how the Giants scored. But I have this theory that Jake Circus absolutely hates. Jake Circus is a kid from SBC, and NSR. He absolutely hates my idea. I think that there's going to be a dynasty made in Los Angeles. They already have best player in baseball, Mike Trout. And Bryce Harper's a free agent this offseason. And one thing that his teams previously have lacked is supporting casts besides him. And because of that, I think there's a very high demand for him to play with somebody who can produce solo offense just like he can. And who's the number one example of that? The best player in baseball, who's on somehow not the best team in baseball. And
Just to update you, the trades are done. It is 12 o'clock on the Eastern time of the U.S. That is it for all the trades.
Yeah, so we will not have any more trades. If we did, they will come in very soon. We will let you know, but I'll just finish this thought and then we'll wrap it up. So I think those two will want to play together for that reason. After that, you're going to see Manny Machado say, hey, why not go play with two of the best players in baseball? Now they're three of the best players in baseball. Then you look over at Jacob deGrom. What has he been lacking recently? Tell me, Max.
A good team. A good team.
A team
Noah Syndergaard,
that can produce on offense. What will the three of the best hitters in the league do together? Produce on offense. So you tell me, if you were Jacob deGrom and three of the best offensive players were teaming up, would you want to go there?
Yeah, because I don't want to face those guys, man. I mean, yeah, I have the lowest ERA in the MLB, but I mean, still, I don't feel confident, especially with the team that I have. I mean, I have the best ERA, but not the best record for this year.
So yeah, that's my theory. That's my theory right there. All the teams are gonna go on. They're gonna join up. Everybody's gonna be on the Angels. Angels, since they're in a very populous place, they'll have space to burn money, and we'll be able to make it up in the future. Because who wouldn't want to see that group of teammates? So, I mean, I think that's my theory. It sounds very wrong, but that's what I'm going with for now. I'll tell you some of my crazy theories. I also really hate the Yankees. So you'll learn some of my crazy theories and crazy whereabouts as we get deeper into some episodes. But that's what I think. That's what I think. Now let's wrap this one up. We're at 54 minutes. So it's been a great episode. Thank you so much to everybody who helped.
Thanks for being here.
It's me and Max on the phone mainly, but you also, I gotta give some props to Eli Lesser. We couldn't do it without you for sure, buddy. I gotta give some props to Russell Tabor. Russell Tabor could be the future commissioner of NSR now that Eli Lesser is leaving. And he also helped induct Max, as did my brother. Shout out to my brother. He knows so much about sports, and he's such an inspiration for me, and it's very helpful. Shout out to Young Ginge. Young Ginge, another part of that group that inducted him. I was the last member of that group. It was the four of us. Me, my brother, Young Ginge, and Russell Tabor inducted Max Stromer. And here he is, the legend, living legend. We'll see him later. And then, of course, Eli Lesser's the greatest. A lot of us wouldn't be there without him.
You gotta watch Sammy Bivets and his show.
Oh yeah, some
Jack's hockey show. You got a bunch of nudes.
New other inductees. We got Sammy Bovitz. We've got Eli Pearl. We got Anthony Remedios. We've got Jack. What's Jack's last name?
I just call him Jack.
I know it. It's Jack Brooks. We got Jack Brooks.
Yeah, Jack Brooks.
So we've got a great group of people. So it's gonna be nice. Now we're all the way up to 56 minutes. So we'll say goodbye to you for now. Thank you so much for listening. You really shouldn't have stayed to the end because we did a bunch of random stuff towards the end. But it means a lot to us that you thought about tuning in on this Friday night or whenever you decided to tune in. I'm just going to refresh my pages one last time. Doesn't look like there's any last trades. If there will, we'll most certainly cover them next Friday. Never mind. So, yeah. Thank you so much for tuning in. We'll see you next time
on Baseball at its Finest.
Good night.